I will defend this gun to the last breath!
You won't die alone, friend.
Hello and welcome to another video from me, Box of Demons, and another glorious battle on the field here with War of Rights. Today it is a skirmish and a battle for PRY House, which is basically a fight over a stretch of road, and I will be showing you on the video exactly where that is and on the map. And we will be looking at some of the tactics and some of the movement of both sides here on the field, as we have done in previous videos, as many of you seem to find it interesting. So let's get our POV down on the field and let's see how the Unionists and the Confederates battle it out here at PRY Road. While rifles are being reloaded and NCOs are shouting their lungs out, a little bit of the history of this map. This is PRY House, and this battle was fought on September the 17th at 10 o'clock in the morning. In this alternative scenario, pockets of Confederate forces have managed to sneak by the Union line and are attacking PRY House, headquarters of the commanding Union General, George E. McClellan. So as you can see on the field, the small hats, we shall call them, are the 20th Maine, and the ones that look like a turban, those are the 114th Pennsylvania, here on the Union side. So looks like the battle hasn't actually been going long, but this stretch of road is really integral, and you have to get the troops, get your men, get your regiment and your sections in place really rather quickly. As you can see, the Union there would just seem to be very unorganised, and a lone wolf there who isn't going to last very long. But as we come down the road, down to the south, you can see the Confederates here have already got themselves into a perfect line here, a defensive line, and a section on the left and the right hand side of the road. And they appear to be firing in independent fire mode, firing at ease whenever they are available. Let's just zoom in and have a little listen to some of the commentary down here from the NCOs.
Big style over here.
Hey, Florida, we are aiming at the red hats, middle of the road.
Yee!
There are a few infantry such as crossing the road there and one further up near the tree. I'm surprised the NCOs haven't screamed their head off telling them to get in line, because they are having a negative effect on the rest of the section. As we come further up, you can see they've brought the artillery out, which is going to be bombarding that road at the far end, making it a little bit more difficult for the Unionists to get further down that road. As we know, the contesting point is the centre of that road, and you need to get to there extremely quickly. So we'll get in here and have a listen, see if there's any commentary being had by the actual artillery sections here.
I have no idea, it's never worked for me.
Union idiot, northwest.
Correctif, point 0, 3, 8, mise en batterie.
Infantry, Union bastard.
Dégagez la pièce.
0 point.
Amorce en place. En joue. Feu.
So the Confederates look like they've got some of the French Legion in here, as you can hear the French talking away. And it's great to be able to hear them actually engaging the enemy, discussing the enemy, and range as well. This is how the artillery works. It really does emphasise team play. And lone wolves trying to do the cannons and the artillery on their own, you're not really going to be effective. So as we sweep back up to the north here, they're going to be firing the rounds down the field. As you can see, that one hit extremely high canister shot there above the tree line. And as we move back over towards the road, we can just have a look on that, what's happening here. I think the Confederates have actually pushed up here on the right hand side of the road. Here they are, and they are still doing independent fire down up to the top of the road, where it doesn't look really, to be honest, like the Unionists are doing anything effective at all. At least the Confederates are pushing up with an officer, as you can see down at the bottom right here, spotting for his infantry.
That was a kill. Already shot that. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Hey guys, go ahead, when you get a sec, go ahead and grab a bayonet. We're gonna be closing in on little rats soon enough.
Yes, sir.
One of the NCOs there telling the infantry to put on bayonets as they are preparing to do a charge, and as they start to prepare and charge up this road, up the field towards this wall, we will be following them up. But as we move back now, we'll just get the other point of view from the actual Union, see what's happening at this side. Union seem to have small pockets on the right and a few soldiers over on the left. This is not really an effective tactic. As you can see, they're out in the open, out in the road. There's lots of bodies here and people getting shot, and their officer in the background seems to be extremely quiet. These guys are not going to make this battle if they don't start to get some team organisation and, dare I say, a little bit of tactics. Very, very, very quiet here from the Union side. It's almost as if they've accepted defeat already. There's no camaraderie, there's no comms, nobody's talking to each other. The officers are extremely quiet. And as you can see over on the right there is 3 or 4 more Unionists facing down this road, and you can see the Confederate flags at the far end rallying the troops. They really do need to get a plan here, or they're just not going to capture that centre zone. As we come over the wall here, you can see the Union have started to bring some of the artillery out onto the field. Very, very slow though. It doesn't look like there's a lot of action going on over here. These 3-inch rifles, as they're properly called, have 3 different round types. We have the shell type, which is used for long distance firing. It's a thick metal encasing and a big internal blast charge, resulting in a large deadly chunks of shrapnel being flung the furthest. Then we have the case shot, which is used for medium to long distance. Now this round type has a thinner structural frame and a smaller internal blast charge that one could easily be misled for thinking that this case shot is the lesser compared to the other shell. But what it lacks in explosive capabilities, it more than makes up for in shrapnel deadliness. Then there is the canister shot, which is used for short to medium distances, and it's probably the most notorious of the lot. This thing, packed with sawdust and 27 solid iron golf ball sized projectiles, is carnage waiting to happen. It's often compared, shall we say, to a giant shotgun, and with good reason. If you fire and face a tight line of men in relative close proximity, let's just say you'll be the last one standing. As we move back to the capture zone here, which is pretty much directly the centre of the camera, you can see now, it doesn't look like there's a huge amount of action happening here. It may be that the Confederates on the right hand side are thinking, we're in a great position here. The more people that spawn in, the larger our section gets, whereas if you look on the left hand side at the Unionists, there's only about 5 or 6 of them holding off on that left hand side, so they really are going to get wiped out here if they don't get some support either from the artillery or more infantry moving up. Let's move over again to the Confederate side, as I think they're going to be making a push at some point here directly for the centre of the engagement.
Make sure you got a bayonet.
Oh my god,
Rip that guy.
I should be dead right now.
This is capping the point, by the way.
Alright, let's just go past the point then.
Check. My bad. I put my bayonet on.
Alright, boys, get ready to charge. Big dick energy.
Like you said.
Bro, what the fuck? Okay,
So as the Confederate prepare bayonets and they are about to charge, we will be following them up the field, and we shall see whether they can push the Unionists out of that far section at the other end, although there's not many of them for them to get into combat with. Let's just see what the NCOs have got in.
Face over the wall, sprint, left face over the wall.
Fix bayonet.
let's go.
Melee
Let's
mode.
go. Mike, get back.
Follow the officer, boys.
Please don't cap.
Melee, follow the officer.
Right face, run to the wall. Run, sprint, fast, go. Keep going. Don't stop here. Keep going. Run.
Go.
You N-word lover.
That's it.
Keep moving forward.
Keep going.
Keep moving forward. Go. Don't stop.
You can hear the Confederates there cheering out, and what I am surprised by is that the Union doesn't use the artillery out on the field to start getting some rounds down here towards this wall to try and suppress some of the infantry. It doesn't look like the Union have really got a plan at all, and this is just going to shit in a handbasket. As you can see, they're now getting into close quarters combat, and unfortunately I think the Unionists are going to get pushed further and further back. As you can see, the flag runner there running away into the distance, and we have some infantry and an artillery piece on the main road. Let's go down and see what they're talking about.
I will defend this gun to the last breath!
You won't die alone, friend.
Ironically, he got shot as soon as he'd finished his sentence. As you can see, there are sporadic areas now where bayoneting and charging is taking place. You can see an officer running across the field there, and we'll try and capture some of this if we can get in a little bit closer. Let's zoom further up the road here and see what's happening at the capture point. We seem to have a fight here by one of the artillery from the Union, and he's knocked out one of the Confederates with his ball. What an absolute legend. Let's move over and see what's happening here on the Union side. You can see they're battling away, but the chances of them surviving the bayonet charge is going to be pretty slim. Although he's holding up. Unfortunately, there is just one Confederate left there, and back on the main road. Let's just see what's happening down here. Doesn't look like, again, like there's a huge amount actually happening here. It looks like there's a complete lack of tactics. There's no NCO shouting and screaming, and the officers really don't seem to be doing a very good job here. You can see there's a little bit of a battle here as we move up, with the Confederates, by the looks of it, starting to push on the left-hand side, or our right-hand side here on screen. It's only smaller numbers, so they are going to be losing out on the tactics and the bonuses for staying in the section and line formation. Great shot there, looking from the Confederate side at the artillery for the Unionists, and as we move back up to the road again, don't actually know what's happening here. It seems to be almost like a kind of guerrilla warfare at the minute, with small sections just moving up instead of moving up as one platoon. As we look on the right hand side here, we can see some of the Confederates still moving up on this road, running across, and it just seems like they're taking pot shots randomly at each other. This is what it comes down to, this game. You really do need strong NCOs and an officer who's prepared to put down markers for his side. This keeps the team organised. This makes you much more effective on the battlefield. And of course, with more experience comes knowing how to read the lay of the land and getting yourself into the best position in order for defence or for attack.
Thank God.
These Unionists just look absolutely defeated. You can almost see it in their eyes. You can feel it in the air. There is an anticipation here that this battle is going to be over, as the Confederates really have pushed their shit in here for the Union. And unfortunately, that is the way that this battle continued. I know not many people make it to the end of these videos, which is why I don't cover the entire 40-minute match, but believe you me, it was a complete and utter victory for the Confederates, with the 114th Pennsylvania and the 20th Maine US side. It was unfortunately not their day, but of course, during the Civil War, there would be many more battles on the field. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, and give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in another video coming real soon. Bye-bye.